Here at the Toasty Bros, you guys know we're all about finding the best deal possible, and that is why our resident deal hunter, Zach, found a really awesome bundle on r/HardwareSwap for us.
And with this bundle deal, we were able to build a sub $650 mini ITX PC and used other websites to fill out the rest of the bill, which we'll talk about later. But before we dive into the bill, we're gonna have our resident deal hunter, Zach, over here tell you more about HardwareSwap and how you can save money on your PC builds.
You know, I did get a pretty crazy deal on that bundle, but it wasn't free. So first, today's sponsor.
Hey Matt, are you building a gaming PC in 2026?
Yeah, even though PC parts are very expensive right now, you can actually save a lot of money on your Windows activation to get good price to performance.
How? Isn't it like $200 for Windows?
Not with today's video sponsor, GVGMall. They're our go-to option when activating Windows on any gaming PC.
Oh duh, GVGMall. You just use the link in the description down below, pick your version of Windows, and then add it to the cart.
Be sure to use our exclusive discount code TB20 to save 25% off your Windows license purchase, which will get your cost down to $26.
So once you purchase your key, the code is then digitally sent to you, and then all you have to do is go into your settings, find the activation settings, and then copy and paste your Windows key, and then boom, it's activated.
So big thanks again to GVGMall for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's dive back into it, shall we?
So let me tell you guys about that bundle I found that Jackson was talking about. So recently, me and Jonah, we did a video where we challenged Matt and Jackson at PC build, and I made a post on Reddit trying to find some parts for cheap. We got a lot of messages about different bundles people had, like standalone components, but we couldn't afford this really good mini ITX bundle, so I forwarded it to Jackson, that way he could buy it for a different video.
So Zach, for those who are new, what is HardwareSwap?
So HardwareSwap is a subreddit. All you need to post on it is a Reddit account with a certain amount of karma, and basically it's just where people go to sell old hardware, keyboards, peripherals, basically anything gaming PC related.
All right, so I gotta say, that sounds like a pretty easy way to get scammed. How do you avoid that?
So people do get scammed. I mean, people get scammed on everything. I've been using HardwareSwap for easily like 7 years now, and I have yet to get scammed. If you're safe and smart, it's pretty easy to avoid it. Basically, you just want to make sure you're buying from somebody with a verified account. They have some trade history. Luckily, every time you make a trade, you post on this certain area and it confirms the trade, so you can see people are reputable that way. Second thing you want to do is you want to make sure anything you buy has a valid timestamp. It's when someone takes a photo and they include like a piece of paper or even a video of it, and then the piece of paper has their name on it and the date, so you know it's, you know, current and real.
So how do you end up paying for PC parts on HardwareSwap?
So that's another way to avoid getting scammed, is you always use PayPal goods and services. That way there's a very small fee. It's like 2% or something like that that the seller, I think, pays, but basically you are guaranteed a refund if something goes wrong. It has tracking invoices, everything like that. So that's basically how you just avoid getting scammed. Make sure you use PayPal goods and services.
All right, so we appreciate Zach's advice on r/HardwareSwap and how not to get scammed. And now we're gonna go ahead and go into the film room and talk about the build that we put together using the bundle that he found. Yes, so shout out to Zach for finding this deal, and also shout out to Jonah for running the Toasty Deals page on Discord. He finds some really good deals as well. But Zach, man, he loves Reddit. He's always browsing Reddit and always finding really good deals like this. So I gotta say, this one was packed exquisitely from that single seller. And they sent this box here and this one here. I don't know why he sent 2 boxes. I guess he just couldn't fit the fans inside of another one. But anyways, let's go over this. So total cost was $330 shipped. We literally did the goods and services like Zach said. It charged him maybe a few dollars. It didn't charge us, so that was cool. We just paid $330, good to go. There's even more fans in here. I forgot that was part of the deal was, and that's what's cool about Reddit, is he was like, I have Corsair fans, but it was only like 2, or these ARGB fans from a company called Barrow, which I don't think I've heard of. So I was like, we'll take the one where we get more. But to kick things off, this right here is a Gigabyte Aourus B550i Pro AX. I mean, that's a mini ITX, fairly high-end Wi-Fi board. I mean, look at that, it looks pretty good, but let's see how it actually looks. Because obviously, used components, we don't know if any of this stuff shipped well or properly. I don't know how this guy packed this stuff. I mean, it seems like he knew what he was doing. I will say, this came off. A little bit of screw marks there from the screwdriver, but that looks pretty good. Our PCIe lane's looking good. RAM slots open, but looking good. Obviously, there's no pins in the board. I mean, hey, the board appears to be in good shape. Highly recommend too, when you buy stuff used, eBay, Reddit, do a visual inspection. You know, look for bent pins, stuff like that. I feel like that looks pretty good, unless Jonah sees anything crazy. All right, now, here's the scary part, Jonah. We got a Ryzen 5 5600X. That means there's pins on this. And a lot of sellers do not pack stuff very well. We'll say the fact that it's in the proper AM4 clamshell is already a good sign. How are we looking? It's looking pretty grid-like.
Looking pretty good. It's perfect.
Yeah. Looks pretty much perfect. You can usually look at these CPUs and I can see like some thermal paste in a couple pins, but I don't really see any that are like really bent or anything, which is good. There's a couple that are like slightly off, but not enough to where I don't think we'll be able to install it. I'm gonna go ahead and just put that over here. We'll just put it pin side up, and look at that. He actually included the Wi-Fi. I mean, there's things that a lot of people, this is important too. A lot of people will forget stuff like this because he probably had an aftermarket cooler. That's the AM4 backplate. AM5 is attached always. This comes off. That would have ruined my day a little bit if we didn't get that. All right, so we got the backplate. I will say, I don't know if we got the little screws in the top, but it does come with an aftermarket cooler, so that's all good. I'm gonna put our Wi-Fi and stuff off to the side. Here is the cooler, speaking of that. Now, he didn't take the best photos of this. It's a Thermalright AXP90X53, which is literally a mini ITX cooler. Now, the only thing I don't like about it is I think it's white. White and gray. No, it's gray. It's not white. I don't know where I got white from. I thought this was a white cooler the whole time. Okay, this might be kind of cool, actually. It's like a little gray cooler. Fairly small, but I think it's going to be plenty for this 5600X. Definitely more than like a stock AMD cooler. And it looks to me, I think all of our mounting's in there, maybe even unused, question mark. Oh yeah, the peel's here. And there's no way he put that back on, so he just included it, I guess. Never used. I'll take it. I mean, heck, why not? That's probably about a $30 cooler. Now, this is the graphics card. This thing's huge, dude. This is like the biggest 3060 Ti ever. So yeah, spoiler alert, 3060 Ti. And 330 bucks makes actually this a pretty, oh, this is a 3080 Ti.
I was saying, it's a 3080 Ti box. Maybe you upgrade.
What if,
That'd
right?
be an insane swap.
Yeah, if you actually said a 3080 Ti. Yeah, this should be, I think, a 3060 Ti if I remember right. You know, let's see, let's do it live, let's see. All right, here we go. Come on, 3080 Ti, 3080 Ti. Okay, it's huge. It's an Asus TUF, so we already know that it's definitely not the same one. Man, this is a 3060 Ti though. This is like the biggest and beefiest 3060 Ti I feel like I've ever held in my hands. Yeah, 3060 Ti, Asus TUF Gaming. This was the reason why Jonah off camera was like, you'll see the case in a minute, he's like, hey, why not one of those like more traditional mini ITX cases? This thing is well beyond mini ITX. Look at it compared to the board, actually. You ready? This is where it would slot in. It takes up more than, I would say it's almost double the board, which is crazy. So yeah, massive GPU. And because of that, once Matt talks about the case, I think you'll kind of understand my reasoning a little more. But 330 bucks, now the only thing it did not include was RAM. And that is obviously the part that I did have to spend a little more money on. I don't think we're even gonna need any of these fans. We'll see, the case could take a couple extras, but I'm just gonna open one real quick. I'm curious if these are ARGB or static. They're proprietary. I think he mentioned including a hub. I don't know that for sure, but that is definitely a proprietary fan, single connector, which, hey, makes things clean. I mean, oh, and they can daisy chain. That's kind of cool. I mean, it's a clean fan, it's not bad. It doesn't seem like it's the max quality, but it's definitely not the worst I've seen. So we got, I think, 6 of those fans, which is pretty cool. And I believe a hub, but we'll confirm that later. So that is all of the Reddit stuff now. Matt's gonna tell you guys about the eBay deals that we got and the things to look out for when you're buying on eBay.
So we talked about HardwareSwap, but eBay, one that's very well known, but some people are a little bit scared to buy parts on eBay. We're gonna tell you some things you need to look out for when you are hunting used, especially in this market, because this RAM is one of those where we saved a good amount of money going used, and there is some good practices you need to follow. One, make sure the eBay seller you're buying from has enough ratings to be trusted. Now, what is that number? Well, normally for me, I like to see at least 50 or above for ratings. It could be a little bit less depending on how many things the seller has sold, but really you want to see the ratings and feedback to ensure that the seller is selling the item that you actually are buying and it's not a scam listing. And also, you got to make sure on your own that you're actually buying the thing you think you're buying by going in the description, reading all the information the seller does give you, because sometimes you'll see a listing for, let's say, some RAM, and they may say, it was working fine on my system until I start having some blue screens, so I'm getting rid of this RAM at a cheaper price. Make sure you read the description, because sometimes those deals that look amazing are that cheap for a reason. And one thing we see a lot from the eBay noobs is the idea of getting confused with auctions and buy it now. Sometimes when you're on eBay, well, a lot of the time, sellers will put stuff up for auction, meaning you'll see a price that is incredibly low, but it requires you to place a bid on something. And once the timer runs out, whoever has the highest bid will get that item. You'll stumble upon stuff that is newly listed. They'll have a really low price, 32 gigs of DDR4 memory for $30. Well, by the time that listing gets to the very end, the bid is going to be much higher than you think, sometimes lower than a buy it now price, but it is going to be much higher than that $30 you see. So don't get confused with bids versus buy it now. Buy it now is going to be a fixed price, but there is also an ability to submit offers as well to save some money. If there is an offer option, might as well throw an offer at a seller. But that's enough about eBay disclaimers. Let's talk about the eBay deals we picked up with this crucial 32 gigabyte kit we got for $136. I still can't get used to this, guys. This is the market we're in. But anyways, this is a 2-stick kit of 16 gigs to make 32, and we're looking at a speed of 3200 megahertz, and it is crucial. We don't like crucial, but we like this deal right now. So we'll go ahead and both of these out. This is the one thing that is a bit of a gamble, buying RAM used. For the most part, if it's been working well in someone else's system, it's going to be fine, but in all our years of PC building, RAM can be the most finicky with compatibility sometimes. So again, buyer beware when buying used. Buying new does give you a little bit of flexibility to return and try something new if you need to, but you're going to be spending a lot more money. But this will work out really well, and 32 gigs is a nice sweet spot, especially for the build at this price point. I think it's a really good capacity, and I'm excited to see how it performs. For the SSD, we have this WD SN740 512 gigabyte Gen 4 NVMe SSD that we paid a grand total of $51.91 for, which I think is pretty decent. In this market, we're kind of getting used to 512 gigs of storage to get people off and running, but 1 terabyte is recommended to get the most value out of your PC to be able to install more than a couple games. We'll be a little bit limited here with this SSD, but it is still plenty to get us up and running, and we went used with our SSD, which is another option you can go with to save some money. So shout out to this seller for a very well packaged SN740. Now you saw the Mini ITX motherboard. The one problem that we have with Mini ITX is 1, the case cost, and 2, the power supply cost when you get the case that requires an SFX power supply. So we went used with this EVGA Supernova 550GM 550 watt power supply that is SFX that we paid a grand total of $60 for. So let's go ahead and unpackage this thing and look at it real quick. Again, small form factor power supplies or SFX power supplies are a little pricey because 1, they're shrunk down power supplies, and just this whole market in general, they overinflate the cost of these units because, well, they might as well. It's a very niche thing that they don't manufacture as many normal size power supplies for, so it is gonna cost you more money. And we have this one right here that hopefully comes with cables. Here are the cables hiding in the bottom. It's fully modular. 550 watts will be plenty for this build, and we'll do a watt reader testing when we're benchmarking to show you guys the wattage coming from the wall. I'd imagine at worst 300 watts with this, giving us headroom for some slight upgrades in the future, but we do get all our cables installed here. Now, power supply used is a bit of a gamble as well. There are certain things that you do save a decent amount of money going used. Because we were SFX, going used was a good option for us, but if we want the normal size power supply, going new could be a good option as well with how cheap some really reliable new power supplies are getting. Under $40, like those Raid Max units that are really nice. But since we had to go SFX, this was a good option, and we love EVGA. We miss you, EVGA. Now, the last thing Jackson's gonna come back in to talk about is the case, because it's a very particular Mini ITX case that is a really good price, making this build good price performance, even though it's Mini ITX.
All right, so Matt mentioned Amazon, and I don't have a whole long disclaimer for that because we bought this case new. Now, I'm gonna be honest, at the time of filming, buying a Mini ITX case used was horrible. I checked eBay, I checked Reddit, I checked Facebook. People are just selling Mini ITX cases for more than they cost new. So there are some things where it just doesn't make sense to buy them used. So this case right here is one that I figured, hey, if I'm gonna have to, give in to not buying a used case, might as well get something kind of cool and different. This is a Mini ITX case called the Stratos Mini ITX from Empowered PC, which funny enough is Computer Upgrade Kings from back in the day. I know Matt and I, 5+ years ago, worked with them on some videos. We've also bought some of their pre-builds a little more recently, and apparently they sell cases. So what makes this case unique is that it is $49.99, so 50 bucks. And it's, that's about average price, I'd say, maybe even on the cheap end for like a micro ATX. But the fact that it's Mini ITX and is supposed to come with the Gen 4x16 riser cable is kind of unheard of. Like, I'm thinking about some of the other Mini ITX cases we bought where they come with the Gen 3 cable for $90. So I don't know if there's just gonna be like some big caveat with this case or maybe loose parts that make me scared, but I don't know. The fact that we were able to get this case that cheap is pretty insane. And like I said, I would have been forcing buying a used case. It just would have been wasting money, so there was no reason to do that. You guys may find some good deals though if you hunt around. So basically it's a dual chamber case with a pretty unique design, I will say. I mean, and it's sturdy. Glass in the front, glass on the side there. The back where the GPU goes, at least I think, yeah, that'd be where the GPU goes, just air ventilation. Let's go ahead and open this thing up real quick. I'm curious here. I just noticed that Crucial RAM is green and black. It is green AF. That'd be some good stuff. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I will say the hinge mechanism feels solid. Like, actually, this is heavy. I know that was the main complaint I was seeing about this case, if any, was that it felt cheaply built. I will say the riser cable has zip ties on it. I'm not gonna say that means it's bad, but I've never seen that before, that's for sure. And it kind of seems like they zip tied it so that it could get a tight radius bend there. I mean, it appears to be in pretty good shape. The lanes there, it feels solid too. It looks like we can fit a 2-lane card, but technically it can fit up to a 3. It just can only be 2 actual slots, which are 3060 Ti fits the bill. So far so good. And also, Look at that fitment. We got some extra room in there. And what's cool about these fans up top is they look like they're exhaust, but they're kind of over top of both. So we're gonna get a little bit of exhaust from the motherboard and the GPU, which speaking of the motherboard, let's check out that side real quick. And then I think Matt and I can get to putting this build together because I don't know, now that I'm seeing this case, I'm a little excited.
I think it's the same as the Infinity one you used to have with the pre-built.
It is kind of similar, yeah.
It's the same build, because that one was a riser cable too.
Yeah, so that was which that case was expensive though.
Yes.
There was a case called the Cuck Continuum, and I had my build in that case for the longest time. It had like one of those infinity mirrors in the front, but if I remember right, that case was like over $100. So, I mean, this is interesting. It is very low profile. Notice we have our IO shield here. We definitely are gonna have to use that cooler. I mean, man, I'm excited about this. We got USB 3 and everything, no C, so that's good. Some extra accessories down here at the bottom. On paper, this build's looking good. $630, give or take, 3060 Ti, 5600X. I think it's gonna be a pretty solid build. Let's get to building. So the build is complete. It looks really good. Did you guys see the B-roll? Did you catch that shot where we had to replace the cooler? Because the cooler that was in there with the glass on was no joke, like pressing against the glass. And we just felt like that probably wouldn't be good for business or for temps. So we put on a slightly smaller ID cooling cooler, which I will say, it's not much further from the glass. So maybe at home, if you're gonna do this, maybe just go with a liquid cooler.
Yeah, we'll be doing some temperature testing when we do the benchmarks, and we'll let y'all know if it's usable. Obviously, we'll see the temperatures. If it's really bad, AIO would be the best thing to do. Block right here, mount it up front, and you'll be good to go. Probably one of the reasons why this is a bit of a cheaper case, but all in all, this is a fun case. $50 to build in this. The RGB looks pretty good. Everything fits very nice. Riser cable, looking really solid, but now we gotta see how it performs in games. Let's get to benchmarking.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are playing some Overwatch. Overwatch 1. It was 1, 2, now it's 1 again. And we're currently running 1080p. We're on DirectX 12, and we have a custom render scale, so we're at 100% render scale, max frame rate of 300, and we're at the ultra graphics quality with AMD FSR 1.0, and it is looking pretty good so far.
Yes, we do.
Yay. Oh my God, oh my goodness. I'm trying actively to hang on. They're about to win already.
Yeah, quick point with the CPU, you can tell actually an 85C on this, so it's letting it go a bit, which is actually pretty good. It is running warm. I think if you're gonna get this case, an AIO is a good option, and realistically, you can get a budget AIO, like for 40 bucks if you do deal hunting, especially on our deal page. So I would recommend just getting an AIO. We're not losing performance just yet, but it is running pretty warm.
Yeah, there's almost no cooler that will fit in this better than what we even have now. Like, I don't think they make any more low profile than this, really. And if we're getting these temps, you might as well get an AIO or something different.
Let's see what happens when we swing the door open,
Matt's
guys.
swinging the door open.
Here we go.
Oh, I can just hear it.
I can hear it being like,
ah. This is a small cooler, too. I think this cooler is rated for like 65 watts, if I'm remembering right.
So it may not even get significantly better. It's dropping.
Dropping some, yeah. Give her a minute. Got some open air right now. Watt is still about the same. Maybe we're boosting a little more now. We'll have to see when the next game. Must heal, must heal, must heal is my only job. Oh,
did they win?
Lost.
They took the W.
Lost. Yeah, I'll tell you what, when we're loading up the next game, I'll check that. I'll see what cooler it actually recommends, if any.
All right, guys, we are now at Arc Raiders. I hear gunshots in the distance. This is going to be a great run. We're currently running the following settings. Let's go to graphics. 1080p, DLSS set to balance on the CNN model. We have ray tracing set to medium, and we're on the high setting preset. We'll go ahead and hit page up, and let's see what we can get, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is my first time playing this map. This is the one that Jackson's been playing. He got almost killed by a fire robot.
And while we were in between games, I did research. The Amazon listing, it literally just says support for 240mm AIO. It doesn't tell you you have to use one. I will say it does not give you dimensions for air cooler size. So that could be your first clue. Based on some other reviews, some people use AIOs, so some people use air coolers. Just depends. But we would definitely recommend going AIO at this point. But hey, it's not overheating, which is good.
Was there that guy to turn around and just think I was shooting at him and just be like, you're dead?
He just ran right by you.
He just waved at me and said, hey, bud. All right, so we're going to loot for some goodies. Nice.
Welcome to Arc Raiders.
Welcome to Arc Raiders. I don't see anything in here. There were like little bots hanging out here, but there's nothing that's lootable.
What were they guarding?
Heavy gun parts, a silver spoon set, and an alarm clock.
Another one.
Oh. He was nice. He
Oh,
said,
watch
hey,
out for
what's
the
up,
crab.
bro? All right. Oh, God,
crab.
it came back.
That's terrifying. That makes it like a
Get
horror
the
game.
hell out of here. I mean,
It's running pretty good though, actually.
yeah, this is running really smooth. Where do I need to go?
Say we were worried on when we were doing 3D Mark based on how the temps were going to be, but now that we're actually gaming with it, it's fine. I think one thing's for sure: if we had a stock cooler on this, it would even in an open build, it would probably be running about this temp.
All right, I'm coming up here, guys. Look at the horizon. Oh, the sun rays. I'm blind. Imagine on your mini LED, you're playing in your dungeon, and you see, yeah, that face. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. All right, let's engage the brakes. They might come for me. Let's breach and search, shall we? What do we got in here? Rubber parts, mechanical components. I have no idea if anything's are useful, but I'm taking them. Oh hell.
Uh-oh.
Oh hell.
Is that a big boy?
Is that thing open?
I feel like it should be by now. Oh yeah, that's.
No, it's not open. Oh.
Yeah, that's a bombardier.
Ah!
There's a bombardier, buddy.
Ah!
Oh my god.
Give it down! Don't let it come down here. Take me home. Yeah, baby. Sorry, bud.
You're not
I'm
getting
out
your
of
food
here.
today.
Beautiful. 99 average, 1% low of 64. Next game.
All right, we are now playing a game that I don't know if we've had in the benchmark run before. This is Diablo IV. Or at least it's been a really long time. And oh, see, there's where we get those load-in lags. So we're running 1080p and we're on FSR set to quality. We got max foreground FPS of 223, just a random number, and then high quality. Let's see, once we get into some of these more crazy scenes, we need to summon some stuff, that's what it is. This game is crazy with FPS. You'll be getting like 200, and then once you get like a big scene, all right, here we go. Here we go.
Him with that page up.
We're going crazy. Oh yeah, page up, so we can see the lows, and it's already dead again. All right, here we go. We're gonna have a lot of stuff going on. We got my little ogre guy jumping everywhere. I think I might be over leveled potentially. Everything's just dying, but yeah, look at the 1% low.
Yeah.
But this is how this game is. Even at home, I get a lot of lag, no matter what settings I'm running, really. Diablo's looking pretty good. Obviously, other top-down games like League, WoW, all those are gonna run really well as well. Seems like we're not getting the, well, I guess we haven't really gone into an area, but I don't feel like we're getting the lag spikes anymore now, actually. We did it.
Let's go.
All right.
You pillaged the past.
All that loot on the ground. All right, so Diablo was pretty good. Now we got one more game to test and then 3D Mark. Let's go to Clair Obscur.
All right, guys, we are now in Clair Obscur Expedition 33, currently running the following settings. We're at 1080p, DLSS set to quality, and we are running a high/medium preset. And we're gonna go and hit page up and see what we can get. This is a game that, yeah, we're gonna get those, yeah, there it is, the little stutters. I'm not surprised, probably similar to the experience we were getting in Diablo. First load in, you're gonna get those stutters. I had this problem a lot on my AM4 system, and one of the reasons why I upgraded was I was noticing in this game, the CPU, you can see the load, it really likes a more modern CPU with DDR5 memory and everything, so it does have its issues, but price point of this PC, still really good. And we can tweak settings. We're running close to high settings, so we do have the ability to adjust these settings as needed.
I like the way it starts, where you just like,
You pull up, I'm gonna throw on you. Because yeah, I will probably want to adjust these settings because we are below, we're getting 60 now, but I would assume it's probably not gonna hold.
oh yeah, was this the one where, did they just add frame gen?
They added DLSS frame gen, yes, which we can, I think it is support. I don't know if it's DLSS 4 only, let's see. So we do have frame gen options here, but yeah, 60 FPS, that 1% low is really what the problem is here, but I'm gonna tweak some settings just a little bit to try to get a little more optimized for our liking. No, it'd be DLSS 4 frame gen, so a 30 series, you ain't getting the frame gen, unfortunately, but we can tune some settings a bit. Let's go for a more just medium across the board. And then let's do DLSS set to balanced. Let's give that a go. All right, again, nothing really crazy happening here. We'll go over this side, and there's some more people to fight. But yeah, now we're kind of chilling a little bit better.
I say if the 1% lows stay at that, then that's a lot better. We may not be getting much more FPS, but
it's really the stutters we wanted to alleviate for sure. So yeah, this is looking pretty dang good. So we'll do a mocking shots. Oh, that didn't. Okay, that was kind of redundant, but that's fine.
yeah.
I really should move to another area where I have a little bit of a challenge because very over leveled for this area. But still slight stutter. It was within the course of battle that I didn't really notice it, but this is a pretty demanding game, and running medium settings, you can go lower as well. You'll still be able to get close to that 60 FPS average with maybe a few stutters here and there. Let's run 3D Mark, talk about that Semper point, and the overall experience of buying used parts. Everything worked. That is the big part you gotta give credit to, is whenever you buy used parts, that's not necessarily a guarantee. This time it looks like it worked out really well for us. Let's wrap this video up.
So Reddit and eBay treated us pretty well with this mini ITX build. Everything about it, actually, I ended up loving. The one thing is, if you do build with this case in any type of circumstance, buy yourself an AIO, either a 120 or I think a 240 up front would look really nice. Obviously, you guys saw our CPU temps were a little high, but they weren't overheating. The CPU wasn't downclocking like crazy or anything. And hey, if you look at the 3D Mark and all the benchmarks, the PC ran great for 630 bucks.
And speaking of the 3D Mark score that Jackson was talking about, the total score we got on this PC was 10,837 with a GPU score of 11,796 and a CPU score of 7,421, which is a 6 cent per point score, meaning we got some really good price performance diving into HardwareSwap and eBay. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you have any experience on HardwareSwap? That's mainly the new one we're introducing in today's video. Have you guys tried shopping before and have you gotten some good deals? Have you got scammed? I want to hear your all stories in the comments down below.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
So this PC will be for sale at PCBros.tech, and if you're wondering how we get these amazing deals, like we said, check out our deals page on Discord and also our deals page on Twitter.
Go to PC Bros if you just want to buy a gaming PC, or if you're a deal hunter looking for more deals, the guy behind the camera will share deals. Cheryl deals. The guy behind the camera will share those deals for you guys over on discord.gg/ToastyBros and Toasty Deals on Twitter. See you guys later. Goodbye.